So, first thing we're going to talk about today is the Lions' schedule, which we know who the teams are, but we know who's home and away, but we don't know when the games are played, times, primetime games, et cetera, which I'm sure there will be many. Folks, this is an absolute holy cow, tough ass schedule, and that's what you get, right? The better teams get the draw of the better opponents. When you finish high, you play better teams. When you finish low, you play lesser teams. So we're going to go over this one by one, and last year doesn't in every case have everything to do with this year. It's a guide, but there's a lot of teams on this list that were maybe not very good last year, but are projected to and are on track to be much better this year. So division opponents, obviously you have the Bears, you have the Packers, and you have the Vikings. Of those three, all three are legitimately improved. We'll get to who those most improved teams are, the top 5 most improved NFL teams. And just give you a sneak peek, the Bears there that you see on the screen are without question one of the most improved teams, and they're quickly becoming loaded. Very, very, very loaded. Lots and lots of talent there. That's just a tough that's going to be very tough. Obviously, one home, one away. And one of the things to point out about the Lions schedule this year is 9 games are away and 8 are home. Obviously, you have the uneven number because of the extra games. So this year is 9 away and 8 home. So 2 with the Bears, then 2 with the Packers, who I believe are a terrific team. And I think you'll really see Jordan Love get settled this year. They did a couple of things to add some talent to the team. I think they'll be much better. The Vikings, it's a bit of a crapshoot, but if everybody watched pre-draft of 2024, I had Jaden Daniels as the best quarterback on the board being drafted, 1A, and I had J.J. McCarthy being basically a 1B. And I think he's going to be a future face of the NFL. I think he's an extraordinary talent that was quite frankly underused in college in the Harbaugh system. There just wasn't a lot of chance for us to see what he could really do. We're going to see that now. Coming off the injury, I would expect him to be lights out. He's got weapons all over the field. It's a great situation for him. He's a great young man. He's got a great head on his shoulders. And I think he's going to really flourish for them. So the Vikings, man, coming off of, 14-3 last year, they're no joke either. Cowboys, they just made the Pickens trade. That makes them a little bit better. I think they're still suspect in a lot of ways, and Overshawn won't be, depending on when they play him or when they play them. I don't know if he'll be back, but so a lot of questions there with the Cowboys. We'll see how that turns out. But they should be a little bit improved from last year. The Browns, that's a mess. Okay. Everybody knows what I've said about Shedeur Sanders. They're going to lose Nick Chubb. It's basically a start over there. And there's just not, they brought in Flacco to kind of steady the ship, bring some veteran leadership in there to just kind of calm things, right? And then they went and did the unthinkable. And so every day now is the question of Shedeur Sanders and who got the most reps. And it's already a comical joke, and it's unfortunate to see. I'm not sure how I saw that. No one else saw that, but I digress. So Cleveland should be able to handle that, no problem. The Bucs, they're a tough out no matter what, and they've improved in the offseason. Emeka is a huge addition for them. With Godwin uncertain, they'll be a much better team. The Giants, one of the most improved teams in the NFL. They're not there yet, but I do believe, and I have said, and I'm on record, and 32,000 people viewed one of my post shares yesterday, and New York fans. And Jackson Dart, I believe, is the number 1 quarterback that came out of this year's draft. I don't even actually believe it's very close. I think he's going to be a superstar in this league, barring injury. Scadabo, Abdul Carter, I mean, they've really done some things, and I just don't think they'll be as much of a laughing stock. Really got to give the Mara family a little bit of credit there as far as keeping Brian Dable in installed as a head coach, there's still some structure there, and it's not changing over again, right? So it'd be interesting to see how this all develops, but they're very much improved. The Steelers, again, that's just not a good situation. I don't know what they're doing over there, to be honest with you. Mike Tomlin is a guy that you really want representing your franchise. The guys did an incredible job, but there's something fundamentally wrong with the Steelers, and they didn't address the quarterback position, and I don't think Sanders should have been that guy. If there's anybody that doesn't fit with a program, with an organization, it's Shedeur Sanders with the Rooneys and Shedeur Sanders with Mike Tomlin. When I heard everybody saying that, oh, here come the Steelers are coming up, they're going to take Sanders. They were never going to take Sanders. It's just not something that they're going to deal with. You saw what happened with Pickens, right? He's gone. You've seen it with other players in the past. You must be a team guy, and if you're a me guy, you don't play there. It's pretty simple. So they're really struggling. Mason Rudolph at quarterback. We'll see. I thought the pick very, very late to get Will Howard was strong, and that could end up being something at some point down the road. I think that'll be an upgrade from Rudolph, but that's a relatively easy opponent. And so then when you go below there and you see away, obviously you got the Bears, the Packers, and the Vikings again. But here's where it gets really crazy. And offensively, these teams are basically juggernauts. The Bengals, I'm not sold on them defensively. I thought they overspent to keep all their players on offense. I understand why they did it, but you cannot hide the fact that you've tied up so much money in those guys, and they feel like they've addressed some of the defensive liabilities or the defensive shortcomings. But, I mean, somebody forgot about injuries are still going to happen. There's just not depth there, but it's a major offensive weapon. It's on the road. It's, in an open stadium, and that'll be a tough beat. You got the Chiefs. And again, we're going to see when these games are played and how far into winter it is and how cold it is there. That's a beast of a place to play. They will be improved as well. They should be back healthy. The Chiefs, they're there every year. So, I mean, you have to look at that. Washington, obviously, ejected, for lack of a better word, the Lions from the postseason this past year, and they've significantly improved and basically top 5 or 6 most improved team. Then you got the Super Bowl champs and the Eagles there again on the road. Very well-rounded team, another solid draft, and they just reload, and it's like, what? And then you got the Rams who offensively they're a very steady team, and Stafford's still getting it done. He's got the weapons around him. You have you have Devontae Adams now on one side, and you have Puka Nacua on the other side. You've got a terrific running game. You've got a very good tight end, and you've added another. So they're formidable. Then you got the Ravens, which are always a tough out. It's like, wow, this is a crazy schedule. And what is so ironic is, it'll be 5 years now. This season makes 5 years ago when Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes started, and I predicted that within 5 years the Lions would be in the Super Bowl. So they got close, obviously, a couple of years ago, just a half away, winning at a half away to get there. The prediction would have come true. Now it's the last year, and we're going to see if it comes true. And it's like you play a schedule like this in the final year for it to come true is pretty crazy. So a combined record, their opponents combined record 125 and 103. Now, you could say it works both ways. That you could say if a team is 14-3, which the Vikings were, 14-3, which the Eagles were, 12-5 Ravens, 12-5 Washington, you could say 11-6 Pack. You could say, oh yeah, so you got, those are skewed numbers to the positive, skewed numbers to the win side. And then I would say that there actually is Cleveland, who was 3 wins, 3-14, the Giants, who was 3-14, and then the Bears, who were 5-12. My point to this is it's a bit deceiving. Those teams aren't as bad as that anymore. So it's the 125 and 103, 22 games over 500. It's not gangbusters, but I think it's skewed because of those kind of like one-off. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, Cleveland. They're not going to be a whole lot better, but 3-14 Giants, they're going to be better. The Bears 5-12, they're going to be much, much, much better. Cowboys 7-10, they should be better. It's just laced. The entire schedule basically is laced with challenges, and it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate that and stay healthy and all of that type of stuff. Third toughest schedule in the NFL, ranked that way right now. And then, of course, where it falls and who you're playing and at what time of the year, the outdoor games in the cold, that all will factor in. But in terms of a record and such, it's the third most difficult schedule in the NFL. And again, that's what you get for being good. That comes with it. So should be very, very, very interesting.